Hey guys, I realise I've been making a lot of videos about movies I hate, so I think it's time we have a look at another positive video. Remember to like and subscribe, it's free, why not? Now back in the day these movies were treated like the second coming of like fucking Jesus Christ or something. And I was one of those kids because I loved this movie, I watched every one of them all the time. It's safe to say these are some of the best superhero media of the last like 20 years. Until Sony rebooted it again and made some of the worst superhero media in the last 20 years. We'll get to that when we get to that. I really hope we don't, but yep, let's start with the start. Spider-Man 1. So to start the movie off, we get a nice cheesy monologue from good old Tobey Maguire. Now, to call these movies cheesy would be an understatement. You'll see more why later. So Peter and the gang are out of this science place and we're introduced to the best character in the series, Willem Dafoe. Oh yeah!
Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Sorry for that, I really like Willem Dafoe in these movies, he's just very funny. Okay, so these high school students, and I said high school students like that because they look older than their fucking teacher. Bish bash bosh, Peter gets cooked by Harry, and then Peter gets bitten by the spider.
MJ, let's go.
Wait. Thanks.
Ugh. Norm gets shouted at by these army men, saying he better get his shit together or he's going to put his project back to formula. Peter then dies with the spider bite. The end. I'm kidding, it doesn't actually end. I'm joking, jeez. Now one of the best scenes in the movie takes place. Norman injects himself with a serum and he becomes the Green Goblin.
Back to formula.
I can't take this movie seriously sometimes. So Peter's powers kicking in the cafeteria, and fun fact, they actually did this scene of Peter catching MJ's tray, practically, so they had to do this about a couple hundred times just to get it right.
Wow, great reflexes.
I can easily say that this is the most iconic Spider-Man scene. Like, I'm not joking. How many movies have parodied this scene? So, Peter becomes a wrestler to pay for a car to impress MJ. Hey look, it's Bruce Campbell. Whilst Peter's fighting Bonesaw, which is actual wrestler name, I shit you not, he makes this kind of poorly aged joke.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
Actually, he did. He bought this for me on our 10-year anniversary. Not only is he my lover, he's my best friend and my soulmate. I'm not ashamed of who I love, nor should I be. For someone with strange abilities due to, I assume, accidental exposure to radioactive spider blood, you're not very tolerant of those different to yourself. You're on the wrong side of history, Spider-Man.
Ah yes, back in 2002 when people with frosted tips could be criminals. Let's get something I don't like. The CGI looks like shit. I know you're going to say, Reese, this was made in 2002. Obviously it's going to look like shit. If you look back, people were saying the CGI was shit back then, so, I mean, yeah. Obviously this wasn't for every scene. Like I said before, the Spidey sense scene was actually pretty good. I don't know why, but Norman just sounds like an alien in this scene.
Peter, the Science Award. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Now, when I said the best character in this movie was Norman Osborn, I was kidding. Here is the actual best character in the movie.
Chief, I found Parker.
Where you been? Looking for you all morning. Why don't you pay your phone bill? Mad scientist goes berserk and we don't have pictures.
I heard Spider-Man was there.
Where were you? Photographing squirrels? You're fired.
Chief, the planetarium party.
Oh, right. You're unfired. I need you. Come here. What do you know about high society?
Oh, well,
Don't answer that. My society photographer got hit in the head by a polo ball. You're all I got. Big party for an American hero. My son, the astronaut.
But could you pay me in advance?
serious? Pay you for what? Standing there? The planetarium tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. There's the door.
Then Norman attacks this festival and delivers the corniest line I've ever heard.
We'll meet again, Spider-Man!
I think now's a good time to mention that Green Goblin's suit looks like a fucking Power Ranger. Definitely does not hold up today. Also, it's worth mentioning that Harry is just really fucking unlikable in these movies. Even before you think Spider-Man killed his dad, he's just a dick. I don't get it. Like, he's just a dick. Also, there's a very funny line in the next movie, which I just have to tell. It's beyond pettiness. So then later in the movie, Pete gets kidnapped by Norman, and he gives him a monologue why he should not save New Yorkers because they're all dicks. And Aunt May gets fucking domed by the Green Goblin.
But deliver us.
Him and Spider-Man fight until Norman tries to impale him with his glider, but if you look at the scene, he would have died either way. Even if Peter jumped out of the way, he would have died. Like,
Godspeed, Spider-Man. Oh.
what are you trying to accomplish here? Harry swears revenge on Spider-Man, and it is here his character just fucking unravels. I question his fucking decision making sometimes. And MJ simps for Peter, but Peter ain't about that life, so fuck you, MJ. Boom! Next movie, let's go! This next movie gets hailed as the holy grail of superhero movies, and although I think it's a good movie, it's got some things I don't like, but I'll get into them in a minute. This is definitely the most wholesome Spider-Man movie, definitely. And probably the one I watched the least as a child. Peter is staring at a billboard of Mary Jane, which is kind of creepy, whilst driving into heavy traffic, when he's told he'll be fired if he doesn't get his shit together. We get a cool scene of Spider-Man saving these dumbass kids running into the middle of the fucking road. Where the fuck are your parents, man? We get the best line in cinematic history.
Pizza time.
So many memes, so little time. P gets fucking surprised by James Franco and the gang. And this is where I was talking about Harry being really weird to him. Him and Peter having a normal conversation, you know, about life, how work's going, you know. And out of fucking nowhere, he just goes, "Oh yeah, I hate you still because you're friends with Spider-Man." Like, dude, chill, fucking hell. Also on the dickhead list this movie is Mary Jane. In this movie, she is just ridiculous. She gets fucking engaged to a guy just to fuck with Peter. Like, seriously. Like, put yourself in the position of the guy who's getting cheated on here. And, yeah, it doesn't look that heroic. It's even fucking worse than the third one, though. Just you wait, man. Just you wait. So, whilst Peter is taking out the trash, they talk to each other, and, she flirts with Peter, and then Peter's like, no, I don't want that, because, obviously, what he said in the last movie is still a thing. He has responsibilities. He can't just go off fucking who he wants. God. I'm keeping that in. After she teases him, flirts with him, she's like, "Oh well, fuck you. I have a boyfriend anyways." What the fuck? What was your plan if he said yeah? You'd have two boys then, wouldn't you? Fucking idiot. Alfred Molina is then introduced, and I actually really like his performance. I think he's doing really good here. He definitely makes it his own character. We've shown him and his wife at dinner. I actually really like this scene. It's really wholesome, and it makes his wife's death a lot more painful later on. Just editing this video on a quick little side note. I am watching the Spider-Man 2.1 version, so if I'm speaking about a scene that's not in the regular version, you know why. Peter's powers stop working, and he walks past these MJ posters. But it's really weird because it's not like a one big poster, it's just like loads of like posters. It just looks really weird. So Doc Ock's experiment begins, and we're told that he has a chip that makes it so the arms don't control him. Man, it'd be a real shame if they broke. Oh, okay, they broke. Okay. Oh, his wife dies. Holy fucking shit, man. Jeez, that was dark. Spider-Man then saves Harry and he says this.
This doesn't change anything.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Jesus Christ. Then he says this when they get outside.
I'm ruined. I have nothing left except Spider-Man.
He saved your life, sir.
He humiliated me by touching me.
Dude, you need to get a fucking grip, man. He just saved you, jeez. I get that you think he killed your father, which, by the way, that butler has still not told him about. He waits until the third movie after he's had this entire arc of hating Spider-Man. I'll get more into that later. You should be a bit thankful though that he did just save your life. I'm not saying fucking worship him. I'm just saying a thank you would, a thank you would do. To close off the first act, we get a scene that is so reminiscent of Evil Dead that it makes me fucking giddy. It's like guy from Community. I like that show. It's a good show. You should watch it. So Peter is at this planetarium and he sees MJ with a boyfriend. This is where she goes full bitch mode. After getting slapped by James fucking Franco, he finds out he's getting married just to fuck with Peter's emotions.
What? What the fuck?
This is where my hate for MJ begins. And it's even worse in the next movie, like I said before. Also, Peter basically gives his identity away to this doctor. You can tell he knows he's Spider-Man. Now, Peter gives up being Spider-Man, and what I actually really like about this is that he actually gives it up for a long time. It's different to in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he fucking gives up on being Spider-Man after causing his girlfriend's death. And 5 minutes later, he's back to being Spider-Man because he watched a fucking YouTube video of Gwen Stacy. I just want to say as well, I love how this is not even an Amazing Spider-Man review and I'm still getting fucking mad. Like, gee, I hate that movie. I genuinely despise that movie. It will take 10 quid and a line bar for me to even review that movie. I also kind of like how there's like Spider-Man villains in this universe, like Don actually become a villain, if that makes sense. Like in this movie, Mysterio and the Lizard make a kind of like a cameo. It's cool. It's cool world building that because it just makes it feel like a bigger world. It's a shame how Sony fucked Sam Raimi over. I would love to see the Lizard done in the Sam Raimi style. Here's some concept art I found. He looks pretty cool. Now in this next scene, Aunt May blames herself for what happened to Uncle Ben, and Peter finally tells her what really happened. And now when I do say I think MJ is a bad adaptation from the comics, I will say I do like how Aunt May is done in this in these movies. Doc Ock is still doing his little science project when he says to Harry, "Hey, you should get me some of this, this good shit, this good shit, so I can finish my little science project." And he's like, "Okay, but you got to get me Spider-Man's head." He doesn't really say that, but it'd be funny if he did. I just noticed there's a fucking fly flying around my room, and I'm getting kind of annoyed. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, he's dead. Right, back to the movie. Let's go. So after realising the world needs him, he gets interrupted in this awkward scene with his neighbour, and yeah.
Hi.
Would you like a piece of chocolate cake?
Okay.
And a glass of milk?
That would be nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good time to mention, I think Tobey Maguire is a good Peter Parker, but he's kind of a horrible Spider-Man. The Fly's back. Sorry, I'll be back in a minute. He's very awkward. Like, I know that's meant to be his personality at first, but he never really grows out of it. However, though, I do think Andrew Garfield is a good Spider-Man, not a good Peter Parker. Because when he's, when he's being like all cocky, when he's saying quips, when he's fighting the villains, it isn't someone as forced as like Tobey Maguire. However, I think Tom Holland is a good mix of both. I will speak about that though later in another video, if you guys want it. Peter talks to Aunt May again, and he's like, it's cool, thank you for telling me. And she gives him a speech on why the world needs Spider-Man, and I think it's safe to say that, yeah, she knows he's Spider-Man, there's no hiding it anymore. Fun fact, in this scene, this was a reference to Tobey Maguire hurting himself when he was on set. It was, with a mix-up, he hurt himself. Poor guy. So, bish bash bosh, MJ's being creepy to Peter again, and I don't want to be that guy, but if the roles were reversed, like gender-wise, this would be like incredibly creepy. But to save him from the creepiness, Doc Ock throws a fucking car at him, so he can find out where Spider-Man is through Peter Parker. Which, dude, you realise that would have killed him if he wasn't Spider-Man. Dude, what's your plan here, man? I think it's also safe to say, I think every Sam Raimi Spider-Man villain has kidnapped MJ. Like, no, go back and catch on to this. Everyone. Green Goblin did it, Doc Ock did it, Sandman and Venom did it. I know this is becoming a meme at this point, but this is like one of Spider-Man's most iconic scenes.
Slowing down.
For this, thank fuck this took place in the 2000s, because if not, Peter's face would be all over TikTok with shitty fucking Cardi B music playing over it. So Otto kidnaps Peter and brings him to Harry, and Harry finds out Peter's identity. What never made sense to me is why Harry never tried to pull Mysterio and like expose his identity to the public. Never ever a reason given. Like, there's never like, oh, he's my friend, I can't do that. And I will say the final battle's a bit weak, because I mean, most of it's just Spider-Man and Doc Ock just talking to each other. But then Otto redeems himself by sacrificing himself for New York. MJ leaves her fiance for Peter, and can I say I feel sorry for this man? Can we get an F in the chat, please? And MJ says she doesn't care if he's Spider-Man. She wants to be with him until she doesn't, because he's Spider-Man in the third one. Yeah, make your mind up, please. Okay, Spider-Man 3, let's go. Now everyone and their mom says this is the worst one. I disagree. I love this movie. I think it's hilarious. It doesn't mean this movie's not got problems, but I'll get to them in a minute. And I know everyone's gonna go like, "Oh, Reese, that's what a bad movie is, a flawed movie." Listen, every movie is flawed. The Godfather is flawed. Like, nothing's safe, nothing's perfect, except from Ocean's 11. In fact, no, that's got some bad things in it too. You see, everything. There's not a perfect movie. Trust me when I say that. And for the third time, we get another opening monologue. Like, can we move past these already? So, Harry is looking at MJ through his binoculars. Can you not see her or something? Why do you need binoculars? Like, you're pretty close to the stage, all things considered. I just want to let you guys know, I've watched these movies at 3 AM, so I'm a little bit woozy, but why does nobody try to explain to Harry that Peter didn't kill his dad? Because he didn't. And it comes back later, but nobody tries. And at the mere 12-minute mark, we already have 2 villains introduced, and with a third on the way. Now, there's a character in this film that I also really like, which is Sandman. Which, fun fact, I actually thought was John Cena for like most of my life. Yep. Now, it would be fine if this was the only villain, but there's 3. It's hard to keep track on one because this movie has 3. It starts off being about Harry, then it's about Sandman, then Harry gets amnesia, which, by the way, lazy writing. Then it's back to Sandman again, then he fucking kills him almost. Then it's about Venom. I'm sorry. What the fuck? How are you meant to sympathise or develop opinions about them if you keep getting pushed to the side all the time? Either one of these villains would be great. Sandman has a good, like, sad backstory with his sick daughter, and it makes you sympathetic towards him. Eddie Brock is a cool opposite of Peter Parker, and Harry has had motivations since the start. Just fucking pick one. Like, it's not hard, man. It's so ridiculous. Oh, hey, look, it's Aunt May. I like Aunt May. She has this really wholesome scene about fucking bitches, getting married with MJ to Peter. And she gives him a ring, and now I'm going to give it some praise. When Peter fights Harry for the first time, we as an audience know he's not going to die. It's like 5 minutes into the movie. But he has to keep the ring safe, so it adds more stakes to the fight. So, yeah. Okay, so after that, Harry gets fucking domed. Holy shit, wow. So, Harry now has amnesia until he decides just not to, and he comes back into the movie and actually does something again.
That's just lazy writing.
So, Sandman is running away from the feds. Never mind, fuck this guy. He just fucking hit a German Shepherd, dude. That's fucked up.
Friends. My best friends. I'd give my life for them.
Isn't that right? Huh? Isn't that right? Huh, brother?
I know it's because he forgot about what happened, but I find this funny, so I'm just gonna keep it in. Then we get this beautiful scene of Sandman, like, trying to, like, pick up his, like, locket thing. The only thing wrong with this scene is that you realise it's ruined because there is a better scene, an infinitely better scene in every single way. So MJ broke up with her poor fiance in the last one just to get to Peter, with Peter even. And she was like, oh, I don't care if you're Spider-Man, I'll be with you anyways. But in this movie she's like, oh, I didn't know this Spider-Man stuff was full time, for fuck's sake. We're now introduced to more pointless side characters. We're introduced to Eddie Brock and Gwen Stacy.
Oh my god, that's Gwen.
What? What's she doing up there?
I don't know, I just saw her last night. She said she had a modeling gig.
Who are you?
It's Brock, sir. Edward Brock Jr. I work at the Daily Bugle. And I'm dating your daughter.
This is a bit of an inappropriate time to bring that up, don't you think, Eddie?
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
Oh, it's Stanley. I'm sad now. Okay, so MJ is mad at Peter because he kissed Gwen Stacy. Peter, why'd you do that? Like, that kid right there, that's me right now. It's kind of justified now for MJ to be a bit of a bitch because, I mean, well, he did kiss this girl, like, in front of everyone. Like, come on, mate, what were you thinking? What was your end game there, man? Oh, hey, look, it's Bruce Campbell. Now, a lot of people say in this next scene, which is the scene where Uncle Ben's death gets retconned a bit. People hate the scene because it ruins the original. I disagree because it doesn't. It still boils down to the fact that if Peter did stop that guy, this wouldn't have happened. And this also ties Sandman to Spider-Man a bit more. It makes it a bit more personal, other than just being some random bad guy he's fighting. This next scene, Peter summons the abilities of My Chemical Romance and gets an edgy black suit. No, we're not there yet. We'll be there soon, don't you worry. So Peter fights Sandman and he basically fucking kills him. Well, he doesn't really, but he almost does. So Peter starts styling his hair to an emo style. Yep, we're getting there. I don't want to get there, but we're getting there. Oh god, there's already too many cringy dancing scenes in this. Can we please just not, please, James Franco, please. So Harry's decided not to have amnesia anymore because the plot needs him to. And his neighbour, who I like to call Hi Pete, because every time she's on scene she says Hi Pete like that, tells him that he's got a phone call and it's Mary Jane. So Harry tells MJ to break up with Peter. But if you see on the scene here, she could easily just tell him that she's being threatened. Like, I don't think Harry can hear her. Like, if he does, he's got pretty good hearing. Like, fair dues. So Peter and Harry basically have this conversation saying, Harry's all like, yeah, I'm dating your girlfriend now. Tough shit, man. And what I love about this is that at the end he gives him this cheesy fucking. I'll show it on screen. Look what he does. Look how he looks at Peter now. It's so stupid. Peter beats the fuck out of Harry again. Jesus, Sam ain't pulling no punches. Fucking hell. Now the Bully Maguire scenes have become a meme because of how stupid and over the top it is. But you guys know he's a dork. Like, he's meant to be this like dorky guy. This is probably how he thinks being cool is. So I don't actually mind this scene that much. I think it's funny. Bish bash bosh. Bully Maguire gets Eddie fired. Love this movie so much. Oh my god. So Peter starts embarrassing MJ at a club, and he starts playing the fucking piano, and he's never been said that he could do that. He just starts playing it randomly, and he just, oh my god, look at the glitch, look at the I love this movie so fucking much. So there's 40 minutes left and Venom has not even been introduced yet. The suit got off him and fell onto Eddie. Okay, so Peter is left naked because obviously he doesn't have anything on under the Spider-Man suit. And now this begs the question, how did Peter get home? Just think about that for a second. I think it's now a good time to mention that Venom is kind of one of the worst villains in the Sam Raimi universe. He just is so unthreatening. And why does he sound like that as well? I'll play the clip. Why does he sound like this?
I want him dead too, Flint. That's why I've been looking for you. Oh yeah, I know all about you. Like the fact that Spider-Man won't let you help your poor daughter.
Okay, so it's final battle time, and this creepy man tells us MJ is in trouble for the third fucking time in the entire series. Here comes the dumbest shit in the entire series. Right, okay, so Harry's butler tells him in the last movie that he didn't die because of Spider-Man. What the fuck? What is wrong with you? You know how useful that information could have been to him? I will say I'm disappointed that this was my first impression to Venom as well. He's just done in a way where you can't really take him seriously, because he sounds like Topher Grace, and Venom is nothing like this in the comics. He's actually cool. They did Eddie Brock's personality right, but they butchered Venom, if you ask me. It's over, guys. It's been up for hours. I like how Sandman doesn't die in the end. You reconcile with Peter. That's pretty cool. Oh hey, look, it's Flash. I wonder what he's up to these days. That's pretty cool. So then MJ sings about how she's free with love, but gets back with Peter like 40 fucking seconds later. So after countless memes, many times me complaining about MJ, it's finally over. I can rest now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And if you don't want to subscribe, fuck off then. Just kidding. Love you.
Give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
Give me rent.